All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tatum Show. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Congresswoman Sheila McCormick is an idiot, and she ended up resigning because she got caught stealing money or something of that nature, allegedly. Tucker and Bucky Carlson. I didn't know Tucker Carlson had a brother. He's dumber than Tucker is. So we're going to talk about that as well. A lady on IG decided to send my wife a crazy message, and you dirty broad. I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm finna expose you today. But we also have to talk about the violence in the black community. But before we get to any of that, there are some new updates, breaking news, audio released from Tyler Robinson's grandfather, allegedly. I think we have proof of it. I don't know. We're going to try to verify it. Welcome to the Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tatum Show. Shout out to all the members. Thank you for joining the membership program. Like I told you, we're going to try to make the best membership program on YouTube. For all of those who are rookies, that's the first level of the membership program. You have access to post-show clarity, which we do after every show. We have a conversation about, random stuff, to be quite honest. Some things that I'm thinking about the show, or maybe some other things that I want to talk about, haven't been able to cover it on the show with the heavily political content that we do. So you have access to that. Shout out to everybody who's an officer, SWAT, and also our two deputy chiefs. We appreciate you both, James and Kevin. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get into the top story. And the first story of the day is the IDF soldier who's an idiot who ended up getting arrested. So let me show you a picture that went out of control on the media. And that picture depicts an IDF soldier taking an axe to a fictitious Jesus. Now, let me just put this in perspective. First of all, that ain't Jesus, and they don't look like Jesus. And people need to quit trying to put images up of Jesus and have some white man on the cross. That ain't Jesus. Now, the fact that the IDF soldier thought it was Jesus and thought it made sense to do this, that's why you went to jail. Now, a lot of people get in their feelings about this, and I understand in part, but this is, to me, debunks all of the stupidity when it comes to, the Jews and Israel is not a friend of ours. Israel hates America. You have one IDF soldier. You see one in the picture, and I believe it's one behind the camera. You don't see 50 of them. You don't see 60 of them. You don't see an overwhelming support for this heinous behavior. You see swift action from the IDF. You see that they said they're going to do an investigation, and both of those IDF soldiers got arrested. That's all you can ask for. For all the Jew haters out there that just think, people do stupid stuff all the time. My measuring point is, will they be held accountable? Us being one of the biggest allies, or the biggest ally to Israel, I would expect the IDF to do this very thing. When an IDF soldier disrespects an effigy, effigy? I think it's called effigy. An effigy of Jesus Christ, then that person needs to be held accountable. If they were not held accountable, then I think there should be outrage. Things should be said. But the fact that they got arrested, you're not going to see certain people talk about it because they wanted the outrage without the justice that's being served. All right, let's get to something more interesting. Tyler Robinson's grandfather. I guess this was leaked to the media. I saw a couple people sharing this online, and this is allegedly Tyler Robinson's grandfather saying that he believed Tyler Robinson was set up. I want to play the clip for you. It appears that the people who recorded this clip did a podcast, so it appears to me that it's verifiable. We're going to play it, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. Roll it.
Some of them have a stash of eating.
Oh, they did? Like crappy food or?
This was nice.
Yeah. What are you guys for Tyler? What are you for Tyler or the other side?
Grandparents.
Oh, your grandparents? Oh,
I'm really sorry you're going through this.
yeah. It's tough for you guys.
Yeah, it sucks. But we're here to support them. So.
Yeah. We think your grandchild is absolutely brave, but I'm an investigative journalist, so
Well, I do. I'm a hunter, and I know what for the us that you do.
Man, you're constant. And I can tell you that you're very right. That's why, yeah.
And my dad was a cop for years.
Yeah.
We showing all of this.
Yeah, of course, but
All right, here's my thoughts on this. First of all, this is called terrible journalism because when you're a journalist, you're supposed to be impartial as a journalist. Therefore, you can get unprovoked information out of people, which means you don't let people know what your stance is before you talk to them and ask them questions to see if you can get a genuine response. But to get on there and say, "Yeah, you're 100% right. I believe your grandson is framed." Two things that I think about. One is that they may have wanted to go along with the journalist because they were put on the spot, or they may actually believe this. Now, there's two more things that arise. One is that they believe it because they have actual evidence for it to be true. And the other thing is that they have compassion for a family member, like most people do. Even if they know their grandson guilty, they're going to stand by him no matter what. How do you know that, Mr. Tatum? I have a family member that's doing life in prison right now. He committed a crime it was on television, televised, on the news. My uncle running out the thing with he's my great uncle. He's running out of the grocery store after tried to shoot, and he robbed the convenience store. He tried to shoot the man with a shotgun. He ducked. He takes the cash register, run out and dump the money, get caught later. And people in the family still act like he innocent. But he framed. He on camera shooting a guy at the stove. And people still think he didn't do nothing. So, in part, I'm not saying it's unequivocal, we will see in the court of law, but in part, the grandparents could be falling for that fallacy that the grandson didn't do anything. Now, I find it very interesting, and this could just be an edit from that. Why is it only 50 seconds? Two things. Why is the recording only 50 seconds? And why is the recording coming out now and not when it happened? Can somebody explain that to me? Typically, when you have evidence or you have some breaking news, why would you hold on to it for 6 months? Or however long. I don't know how long it's been since Charlie was killed, but 4 to 6 months? How do you hold on? It's about 6 months. How do you hold on to it that long, and then all of a sudden, when the trial is doing this, you go put it out? It's one thing you're trying to be salacious, or it's suspicious, in my opinion. Well, here's what I believe the journalists, their website said. The narrative just collapsed, and which is completely stupid, but I'll articulate this to you. It says the narrative just collapsed. Leaked audio of Tyler Robinson's grandfather destroys the state's case. If you are still buying the official Fed slop, see, when you can tell a person is biased by terminology. Fed slop is a biased terminology. You're not impartially. You already made your mind up that this is a conspiracy. That the Fed slop, a story about Charlie Kirk's assassination, you need to listen to this immediately. And then it goes on to say, Kansas On just aired exclusively elite courtroom audio of Tyler Robinson's grandfather talking to reporters Elizabeth Lane during a hearing break. For months, the media has pushed the lie that Tyler Robinson's family abandoned him and turned him in because they recognized the grandfather's gun in the news, which none of that is true. The reality is that the news used fake stock photos, not the actual gun. Sheriff Brooksby admitted Tyler was coerced to surrendering under threat of massive SWAT raid and on his family. And now the grandfather, the original owner of the alleged murder weapon, is speaking out. Now, let me just put this in perspective. I know that there's a lot of people that believe, wow, this is breaking news. This has nothing to do with the case. When I say nothing to do with the case, this will not sway overwhelming, compelling evidence just because the grandfather is saying that he believed that he was set up. The grandfather in this recording isn't denying that the gun is there. Who's denying that the gun is there? Is the grandfather going to deny that his DNA was on the gun? I don't want people to say, I believe Brandon Tatum or anything. I want you to balance your perspective. You have one side that says that we have the shooter and everything, and then you have a conspiracy side. Let's play out the conspiracy side. They framed him. Who is they? Israel. We know that's not true. But just say the FBI framed him. At what point did they decide to frame Tyler Robinson? Months ago? Years ago? How did they make it such a perfect timing that Tyler Robinson was on campus the day of the shooting? He was at least 200 miles away from his house because they got him in an impartial video at the Dairy Queen. How did they get him to set up the look like this and like this? How would they get a text message from his dad saying, hey, where's your grandfather's gun that you have? His dad told the police that that was the gun that belonged to the family. His mother and father both identified him on the surveillance footage, that they coerced the parents. So when you start saying that they framed him, you got to go down a rabbit hole that's almost impossible to go down, because he even have statements to say that he did it. And then just say that it's all made up. Why would they choose Tyler Robinson? He looked like an inbred, mindless individual. Why would they pick him? Why couldn't they pick somebody else? And here's the thing too that I think about, because I consider conspiracies too. If they smart enough to find a random kid, convince him to do XYZ, in which case they can frame him by showing the video to the world, and his parents somehow identified him with his DNA on the gun and everything else, then why do you think they're not smart enough to fake the statement that he confessed? To make it sound real and reasonable, where you would never know. But you're telling me they did all this coordinated effort and they couldn't get the confession letter right. They did all of this coerced stuff, but they somehow got a gun where grandfather could get on the stand and say, that ain't even my gun. They can fake it all, but they can't fake that well enough that it can't be disproven. They can fake it all. But when you understand investigations, you understand that you can't really fake DNA. Where did they get his DNA from? And this is one thing that I want you guys to know. I don't want to be too argumentative because I know people get in their feelings about it. But think about this through real quick. When you go to submit evidence, the FBI doesn't take the evidence and the FBI director go and look at the evidence himself. They submit the evidence to a secured crime lab, which is a separate entity. There is no cross-pollination in the crime lab. They have to have a chain of custody. They submit the evidence. The crime lab takes over the evidence. The crime lab does an impartial evaluation of the evidence that's verifiable by people who are going to come and to testify that it's not connected to the FBI or any investigatory body. And then once it is done and the evidence is done, the processes are all verified. They're going to have somebody testify to prove that the process was impartial and all of the above. The defense will have a chance to argue that, which they were going to have no argument, because this is probably a long-standing crime lab that's been around for 50, 60 years or even more, that have done 200,000 cases, and 99.9% of all their cases have been 100% foolproof. And so it's going to go down, and you guys are going to see that people are just needing content to be juicy. Here's the ladies that allegedly did this this interview, and this is what they had to say about it. Roll it.
Me and Brandy got to talk to Tyler's family. And I have to say that I really like Tyler's grandpa and Tyler's dad. They were all there, so both grandmas were there, and grandpa was there as well.
There was 9 family members there, I believe.
I started this conversation with Tyler's grandfather, and I asked what they were to Tyler, and he said, well, we are grandparents. And I was like, oh, wow. So we got into the conversation, and he said, I think your grandson was framed. And he said, oh, yeah, I think he was framed too. And I'm 100.
Both of them. The grandma nodded her head too.
Yes. And this is the grandpa whose gun Tyler supposedly used to kill Charlie Kirk. So grandpa whose gun was used said that the 30-06, the gun, Tyler could not have killed Charlie Kirk with that gun.
No.
Ridiculous. Just this should be one of the most damaging thing against prosecution.
All right, time out. Let me tell you why this is not. Because that man can say whatever he wants to say. But they have a gun with Tyler Robinson's DNA on it, verified through a crime lab. And they also have Tyler Robinson's father communicating with Tyler Robinson's concern that when he sees the gun on the news, he confronts his son and says, Tyler, where's that gun at? Tyler couldn't produce the gun. Tyler goes on to a messaging thread with his lover and articulate that he hid the gun in the bushes and police are surrounding the gun. So independently, law enforcement is in a particular area that connects with what his statement was on a separate chat to his lover that he thought nobody would see. And he goes on to confess. He talked to his family before saying the time has come, making crazy statements about his hatred towards Charlie Kirk. I mean, you got a plethora of different evidence. I'm going to let him finish one more point, and then I'm going to show you some information from somebody that messaged me on my platform saying that they were or they knew a neighbor that has Tyler Robinson on film running through their backyard when he hit the gun. Let him
Would
finish.
like to know how they actually got him to go in and if the story we're being told is authentic at all.
No, I don't think so, because Brandy,
No.
talk about this. So what did you feel between the chemistry between grandpa and father? I think they were on the same wavelengths, in tune, and all of this, right? Like they were very close to each other. They were sitting right next to each other. So my thought is that if grandpa thinks this story is bullshit with this whole gun and everything, father thinks that too. Well, then
Right. I don't think there's
really,
any way that the father turned him in. I
no way.
just don't. And I've spoken to another family member who was also there yesterday. I'm not going to say who, but she said that about 2% of what you hear in the media about Tyler Robinson is true. And they don't think he was capable of doing something like that. And then you have the grandpa saying that he thinks that he was framed, and the grandma nodding.
Right. Could he be framed? Is it a possibility? Could the family be telling the truth? Yes, there's a possibility. The likelihood is not that prevalent. He's framed. Who did it? Also when it comes to the last statement that they made and saying that they think that the father and the grandfather is in lockstep when it comes to this. According to who? They said it. Why not release the video of it, the audio of it? They only showed us 50 seconds. What's on the rest of the audio? What's on the 2, 3, 10, 15-minute audio that's being said that they refused to put out or they did not put out for whatever reason? You just talked to them for 50 seconds? I would think that they will put a lengthy audio out so people can decipher for themselves what the protocol is. Now, I'll add this to it as well. It's family members always say, my family didn't do nothing. We see it happen all the time. Maybe they believe it, maybe he didn't, but we have a text, we have a message, and I can't verify if this is true or not. I'm just giving a statement here, or at least showing you what people are sending me. It says, I live 8 blocks from UVU in Utah. I grew up on that campus. Tyler Robinson ran through my friend's sister's yard, and they have him on camera, turned it in. There's more evidence out there than what you see on the surface. Now, I know there's more evidence because I've done investigations before, and I understand that we cannot disclose majority of the evidence to the public. So whatever they're showing, there's like 3 or 4 times their evidence behind the scenes. And also they say there's impossible that Tyler Robinson father turned him in. I'm telling you, y'all. And it's interesting that these girls are saying this. It would be also interesting as the family is saying this, because in the affidavit, probable cause statement to make an arrest, they articulated that there was a conversation between Tyler Robinson and his father, and Tyler Robinson wanted to take his own life, that his father convinced him to come down and turn himself in with the assistance of the neighbor who was a sheriff. The actual sheriff did a press conference explaining how they got to the conclusion of Tyler Robinson turning himself in. So you have to argue that the sheriff is compromised, that every FBI agent in Salt Lake City is compromised, the father is compromised, the boyfriend, whom they're going to probably have testify in front of the world, is compromised, Tyler Robinson's computer is compromised. You got all of this compromising when at the end of the day, a nut job who hate Charlie tried to kill him, like all of these nut jobs that try to kill conservatives in other capacities. So we shall see when the preliminary hearing happens. You're going to get a lot of information, and you're going to be able to hear the argument of probable cause for the defense the probable cause for the prosecution and the rebuttal from the defense. And we shall see. But I'm telling you right now, I've been right about every case that I've been on. And I say 2 didn't go the way that I expected it to go in the trial, but I was completely correct about it. And both of them were for political reasons, not anything else. If you change this person out for this person, the officer would have been found not guilty. It's just that simple. All right, let's get to another story. And this one is crazier than 2 left shoes on an 8-legged man. And I don't know how anybody still follow this guy anymore. But this is Tucker Carlson and his brother Bucky. I just don't know, y'all. What happened to Tucker Carlson? I know a lot of people say that I changed. Pull up the receipts. Show me where any point that I've made over the years has ever changed. Show me changing on Israel. Show me making a change on Trump. Show me changing about policing. Show me changing about conservatism, freedom, Second Amendment. Show me where I've changed about anything that I've said. And I can show a highlight tape of Tucker Carlson just a couple years ago saying the complete opposite of what he's saying. Not adjusting his perspective, opposite. Now look at him and Doofus on here. Bash Trump, and I'll say this before we get into it. This is all about Israel. This is all about the hatred of Jews in Israel. That's what this comes down to. This is the only reason why they hate Trump all of a sudden, and why they hate everything about Trump and conservatives that don't hate Israel. You can't even be impartial about Israel anymore. You have to hate them. Roll the clip.
We do have remedies for an out-of-control, megalomaniacal, destructive president. I think, honest people who have that power should consider taking it. 25th Amendment is there for a reason. It's not crazy to talk about it in this context. If our country is suffering great and lasting damage, which it seems to be, then sober minds need to come in and exercise what power they have for the benefit of all of us. Easier said than done, I'm sure.
Right. Easier said than done. But I mean, it's certainly, I think saying the truth, whatever you think that it is the first step toward redemption of yourself and of your country.
Yes.
Like, tell the truth. That's your number one duty.
Can I say one other thing?
Of course.
I'm certain the physical threat is real. That's been
obviously
demonstrated a lot. But also, if it's shame, if there's blackmail material, as there is on so much of our elected officials, if there isn't Trump.
Time out. This is what grind my gears, this blackmail stuff. What are y'all talking? Like, what blackmail? Is there verifiable evidence of specific blackmail that you're talking about? Donald Trump has been accused of rape. Donald Trump has been accused of all kinds of sugar honey iced tea. Donald Trump got 34 felony charges. E. Jean Carroll, or whatever her name is, she done came out and said he groped her in the bathroom. They found him responsible. What blackmail do they have about Trump? They released the Epstein file. Some girl said he did something to her, which we know she's a lying POS. What blackmail they got on Trump then? He done been, all the stuff done been put out there. But it's easy to just say they got blackmail. Make your mind up. Do they hate Trump or they using Trump? Make that make sense to me. Because in a minute, they're going to talk about the assassination of Trump, how it's staged. By who? Roll the clip.
It's like, I'm sorry. You've demonstrated that you don't have any personal shame. I mean, you've demonstrated that a lot. You persevered through all of these accusations of disgusting personal behavior. How shocking is it really if there are pictures of you doing compromising things? Not very. And it doesn't even matter. Like, actually, I hate the term, but sack up.
Yeah.
Like, really, again, it comes back to the obligation that he has, not just to Donald Trump, to everybody else in the country, well beyond Donald Trump. Who cares?
With no evidence,
survive.
With no evidence, this man is saying they got potentially compromising pictures of Donald Trump. They played the Access Hollywood. They've done all kind of stuff to make Trump look bad. You think Trump care? He's the president. Show a picture of him with a girl, with a butt-naked freak. What, he gonna stop being a president? You can't impeach him because he horny. Bill Clinton was getting service in the White House from an intern. They had blackmail on him? Man, that man told the world. He lied at first. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And man was still the president. He got reelected. What are y'all talking about? But they got this mysterious blackmail that nobody know that. Come on, bro. Everybody, they got blackmail on everybody, though. Everybody they got blackmail on. All right, there's more. Roll it.
You and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. You know, we'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm
Time
sorry
out.
for.
What is happening here? We've been in war with Iran for like a month, 2 months. The world is coming to an end. We're gonna be tormented by this for life because of what? What has Donald Trump actually done? They claim on one hand he didn't do nothing he said he was gonna do, and on the other hand, he's done all this bad stuff. Which one is it, bro? Trump ain't done nothing different or more extreme or better or worse than his first term. But they're acting like the man done something. We ain't seen the results of half of the stuff he's trying to do. We haven't seen the results of it. How do you jump this far? Because you hate Israel. Roll the clip.
Misleading people it was not intentional. That's all I'll say. But anyway, but the question does present itself immediately. Like, what is this? Was this always the plan? You don't want to be a conspiracy nut, but like clearly there were signs of low character. We knew that.
Yes.
But it didn't. There are tons of people of low character who like outperform their character. It doesn't have to be
Sort of the norm, actually, these days, I
right.
would say.
I've outperformed my character a lot. I don't have especially high character, right? But, you know, you try to, whatever, you try your best. But
So in the same sense that he's trashing Trump, he's saying he don't have high character. Do they have blackmail on you? It gets worse. Here's them. They say stuff about the Butler shooting, and they also go against Charlie Kirk shooting. And they come up with these conspiracies with no evidence. At any point of this clip, are they going to produce any suggestion of evidence? No. Roll the clip.
was this always the plan?
You know, looking back after the last year and a half, it seems like it kind of was. And it's easy. Well, you could get really deep about it and say, what was Butler? Like, how was it that and Ryan Ruth, I mean, he was subject to 2 legitimate assassination attempts. Have we ever gotten to the bottom? I know you've talked a lot about this, but have we ever gotten to the bottom
I
of
haven't
that?
talked a lot about it. I don't know the answer, but I know that those investigations have been stymied. Fact.
Yeah, stymied from the very top, from people
Right.
who actually would have the power to get to the bottom of it.
And the motive.
Feeling. Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
Time out. The motive is Jews. Because are you telling me, I'm just to put your thinking cap on, are you telling me that Donald Trump orchestrated an assassination attempt where the assassin was so good that he missed shots, killed a random person, and then he just grazed Donald Trump's earlobe? And it was all staged, exactly how I was playing. Or are you saying the guy was just shooting into the crowd and accidentally grazed Trump? So he can have a moment where he put his hand up and go, I'm fighting for you guys. Are y'all serious? The real motive. And they're saying Donald Trump is covering up the assassination attempt on his own life. For what? Why would Donald Trump cover up his own assassination attempt? What's the theory behind that? They don't have to give one. They just throw it out there. Roll it.
The enormous amount of money he got from Miriam Adelson. Now,
the Jews.
It seems suspect to a lot of people at the time. But, you know, there's a lot of money in politics. To run for president requires an enormous, I mean, Cackling Camel Toe went through $2 billion in 4 months.
Time out. Kamala Harris went through $2 billion in a few months of being activated without anybody voting for her. And Miriam Adelson gave Trump $150 million? Like, how do you stomach the idea that you say that Kamala Harris is... Why are we not looking at who gave her $2 billion? But we're looking at Miriam Adelson, who gave Trump $150 million, and she wasn't even the biggest giver. Elon Musk gave $100 million more than she did. Roll it.
So, sure, there's an argument to be made that you get money from those who will give it to you. It's just the nature of that game. But
Tucker Carlson received investment money to start his Tucker Carlson podcast of like $17 million from a person who was not a white male in America. What? Okay, keep going.
Still reprehensible, and it's still a big question mark. Why would someone who has obvious and demonstrated allegiance to a foreign power give Donald Trump $250 million while he's running for president? I mean, how is that defensible? It's really not. If Russia had given a PAC for Trump, if the mayor of Moscow had somehow, assembled an enormous amount of money and put it in a 501c3 for Trump's benefit, would that have been acceptable? Of course it wouldn't have been.
Now, how in the funnel cake are you comparing Miriam Adelson, who's an American? Her family has generated wealth right here in the United States of America that she decided to give to his campaign as a family gift. You're bringing up another country. She's an American. You're comparing an American that want to support Trump to win because they love this country. Why does it got to be about the Jews? Can Miriam Adelson just love America? So everybody that gave to Trump, which he probably raised $1 billion, she only gave $150 million. So everybody that gave to Trump is got an allegiance to Israel. Why can't we just love our country? And she wants him to win over cackling Kamala Harris. Why can't Miriam Adelson just want Trump to win over Kamala? It's got to be an allegiance to Israel. Why? Keep going.
So what does it's so basic, comes back to the money. Like, what did they get in return for that amount of investment? And it's clear.
The presidency.
I get it. No, I mean, of course, I agree with every word that you're saying. I just think, given his behavior and his demonstrated disloyalty and viciousness to previous supporters,
yes,
why wouldn't he display the same lack of loyalty to Miriam Adelson? I mean, that's kind of the question. The only people he's
Time
been
out.
loyal.
I got more. Let's go to the next clip. Elon Musk gave $250 million. That's $100 million more than Miriam Adelson did. And Elon Musk got kicked out of the government, and Donald Trump told him to go himself. And then they end up making up again. So you're telling me that he's more loyal to Miriam Adelson, who gave less, than Elon Musk, who gave more and was a part of Doge in the government. But Miriam Adelson is the one that's controlling Trump. What? Donald Trump was a president before. Y'all never said nothing about Miriam Adelson before. It's because now you hate Israel, and so everything is a conspiracy against Israel. Roll the clip.
He does have the power to stop and hold a press conference and be like, I don't know what it looks like, but he could say, I'm under incredible pressure from this outside force. Obviously, Israel is exerting this pressure on him. He could be forthcoming and straightforward about it. And
Time out. I think I'm done with this segment. It's so many clips. Just hold on. Why do they think that Israel has so much more of an impact on Trump than Qatar? Qatar gives billions of dollars into our educational institutions every year. Billions. And they also gave Donald Trump, gifted him a airplane for Air Force, to be an Air Force One plane, which is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And we also have a military base in Qatar. Wouldn't you think that Qatari relations with America should be something we should look into. And they do not share our values in the same way that Israel may have or that other countries have. How do we have a military base in Qatar and Hamas and other terrorist leaders are meeting in Qatar? And somehow we got to deal with them. Is that not suspicious to you? Qatari money is long, bro. The Saudi money is long. That Arab money is long. They make Israel look like they're in poverty. Qatar gives more money to our universities than we pay Israel. That's more money than we give them for military that they have to spend in America. Qatar gives more money to, pay in our institutions. China lobbies 10, 15 times more than what Israel can ever do. I'm going to let them finish and then we're moving on. I promise. I just had to get this off my chest, y'all. This is so egregious. Roll it.
American people behind him, people who not be a lot of people.
Let's go
know
to Charlie
it.
Kirk's thing and we'll be done. This is what Stu Head and Stu Head 2 had to say about Charlie Kirk's thing. Why these same people that hate Israel believe every conspiracy? You can never find a balance. Like, I don't like Israel, but I also don't believe the conspiracies. No, they got to be the same sheet of music. They hate Israel and they believe in every conspiracy you can think of. Roll the clip.
The weird dynamics surrounding Charlie Kirk's death, the investigation, the initial press conference held by the supposed head of the FBI, Kash Patel, who said a lot of nonsensical things.
Like what?
Behind that podium.
Like
and
what?
No one has ever explained it.
Like what?
What does it mean? What does it mean to see "I'll see you in Valhalla," Charlie? What is the significance of the number 33?
Time out. Bear with me. We got more stuff. But I just don't understand. There was nothing suspicious about Charlie Kirk's death and that people have made it suspicious. The FBI can never tell you everything. But people made that suspicious that they didn't tell you everything. They can't. They never will. You made it suspicious. They get behind the podium and they tell you everything that they put in the affidavit that they submitted to court that they made an arrest on, that they're going to court on right now. They told you all of that. But then it's suspicious. What does it mean, Valhalla? Why does it have to be something spooky? I know, like, I met Kash Patel. I've talked to Kash Patel before. I interviewed Kash Patel. These people are normal people, bro. Charlie knew Kash. They liked each other. All of a sudden, Kash becomes the FBI director, and now he's Satan. And he's compromising. He's going to get on camera in front of the world to give a secret code about Valhalla. What's the significance of 33? They going to get on TV and show you that they doing a conspiracy. Keep going. Hey, Grant, look up the Valhalla thing for me, because I have no idea what he's talking about. I did hear, what's the name say it? Kash Patel say it.
Tucker talks about it in this clip.
All right, play it.
Yeah.
No one's ever been compelled to answer that question.
It's the last
Kash
clip,
Patel
y'all.
stood at the podium and made a very big point. He could have made a lot of points. First of all, they released video of the supposed killer, Tyler Robinson, jumping off like a 20-foot roof. It was a very bad quality video, even though they had high quality video on that entire campus. They released this ridiculous, like absurd, like 1973 quality VHS tape video.
Time out. So you're saying they released a fake video. So you're saying that they prepared a fake video and then released a low quality video. They prepared to release a fake, low-quality. You would think that if you, Mr. Smarty Pants, identified, whoa, it's clearly a bad video. They must have done some impropriety. You would think if they created this and they've been doing this forever and they staged this months ago, years ago, whatever, they'll make a fake, high-quality video. They don't, like, what are you saying? If they want to fake a guy jumping off the roof, they will film a guy jumping off the roof with CGI in 4K. But But they so smart to create the biggest conspiracy to ever live on planet Earth, but they too dumb to show you a bad quality video. Because you the smart one. Lord help me. Finish the clip.
Of the supposed killer. They released all of his supposed text messages that detail all of the. If you were looking to incriminate yourself, if you had gotten away with the perfect crime, then you inexplicably decided to write down everything, every incriminating detail of your crime.
Time
we're
out.
supposed to believe.
So we're acting like Tyler Robinson's a genius. We don't catch stupid ones, and crazy people are the ones that do this. So this is why, in the mind of a killer, he's not thinking about this. But you're telling me Tyler Robinson is allegedly so smart that he would never be stupid enough to do this, all right? But the FBI, who made the biggest framing in world history, is stupider than he is. They're stupid enough to send you a letter that don't make no sense, that looks staged. Although they've been planning this, I hope to God that he think that they've been planning this for years, because there's no way they instantaneously plan this to get footage and content and him and his confessions and all that. They did it the day of the shooting. You're saying they pre-planned it. You think they can't pre-plan a letter that sound just like they want it to sound? But they're willing to believe that the FBI created such a conspiracy, but was too dumb to fix the letter. But he don't believe that Tyler Robinson being a nut job, getting humped on by a transgender, is too smart to write a letter that's stupid. He's stupid for killing Charlie in the first place. All right. Finish clip.
That he did that.
2 minutes.
We're supposed to believe that the guy in the crowd, George Zinn, who'd been in various other hotspots like the Boston Marathon bombing, and he'd been a witness at 9/11, that George Zinn is going to just immediately erupt out of his seat, take his trousers off, and run down screaming, waving his hands, saying, "I shot Charlie," like within the first 30 seconds of it. Right? Like you wouldn't, if you wanted people to believe.
Feels a little Jack Ruby-y.
It does, very much so. I was expecting Tyler Robinson to be visited in prison by
Louis Joyland West.
Yes, exactly.
I pronounce you crazy.
And then you have an inexplicable fast-acting cancer that kills you within 6 months. Oh, that's normal. But sorry, back to the Kash Patel thing, the fact that he gave this press conference that was devoid of any real detail that you would want in the aftermath of this public execution. But then to emphasize things that seem so random and inexplicable, like Valhalla. Who the hell knows what Valhalla is, and why? How is it appropriate to this?
Well, as Scandinavians, we know what Valhalla is, which is, it's the Norse heaven. It's a pagan understanding of heaven.
Yes.
Right. So Charlie Kirk is a serious Orthodox, lowercase o Christian. He's like a real Bible believing Christian.
Yes.
He does not believe in Valhalla. He
No.
rejects Valhalla.
Yes.
Like that's
How do you know?
ridiculous, actually, to say that about a Christian man. Valhalla?
Yes.
No, we're monotheists who believe in Jesus. There's no Valhalla in my world.
Yes.
Why would you say that?
Okay, why would he
no
say
one's
it?
ever held him to account. He's never been felt compelled to explain it. Or the emphasis on 33. It took 33 hours to bring this guy to justice. And then he repeated it several times.
I don't know. I literally have no idea.
So everything surrounding it.
All right, I'm done. I'm done with this topic. Do y'all know how nonsensical this is? He said Valhalla. What does it mean then, Tucker? What do y'all think it mean? Oh, we don't know what it means, but it's weird. So it must be conspiracy. I got to look up Valhalla. Look it up. I guarantee you look it up with me. When I get off this live stream, I'm going to look up Valhalla and see what is there a connection with Valhalla and Christianity, or Valhalla and heaven, or Valhalla and is that a phrase that people use in the military, or something that him and Charlie kind of knew back and forth. We'll look it up. But like for you to be like, Kash Patel is going to get on camera in front of everybody and make a clear statement that I'm in on killing Charlie Kirk today. Valhalla, y'all go look it up. Go look at Valhalla, and the whole world can look it up, and he going to say it anyway. Yeah. Right, right. That's what I heard Valhalla, roughly had something to do with the military. But maybe that's just a phrase that he used because Charlie Kirk was in a battle to save America and these nut jobs killed him. And he's just saying, as a soldier in this fight, I'll see you in heaven for where the real ones go. None of these people talking are really Christians anyway. Who are you, Tucker? You said Muslims love Jesus. Ah, they love Jesus so much they kill people that love Jesus. They love Jesus more. They love Jesus so much they want to kill you because they're the only ones that can love Jesus. Is that what you saying, fool? Look around the country, persecution from Christians. Where it come from? It don't come from Jews. It don't come from Buddhists. It come from Muslims. Look at all the Christian nations that's getting right now in Africa. They're killing all these African people, all these African Christians. Who? Muslims. I ran out of time. I ran out of freaking time, and I got a haircut I got to get to. I love you guys. Thank you for going live. Only thing you missed was the lady resigning and black folk. Oh, that lady on Instagram. How much time I got? Because I want to put that B on blast. I want to put that, bro. I got 13 minutes before 4. I want to put this woman on blast. This one, I'll tell my wife this yesterday. I was like, I normally ignore people that write stupid messages, and I try to let it go. But this is so egregious to me that a woman would say this about me, and it's totally fake. Put this lady on the screen. I want to cuss. This is this lady. This is the message she sent my wife. Now, she allegedly followed me, and this is what she wrote my wife. She wrote, all I see is your husband liking half-naked photos on Instagram baddies and models from following him. You deserve so much better. And this is where she's so stupid. And this is why I want to call her out on this. She go, he may have blocked so you can't see that. How do you block where people can't see your likes? And even if they could, my wife has had access to my social media since I met her in like 2019. She's had my social media access. My wife have access. My team have access to my social media. Do you think I'm that stupid that if I see a big booty Latina, I'm going to hit the like button? You don't have to like it to see it. But this woman wrote my wife and said she like half-naked Instagram baddies. Now, she's so stupid she don't know my wife have access to all of my social media, and I do not care that my wife see my stuff because I'm not stupid enough to like baddies on Instagram. But she, not knowing this, tried to throw it out there, and it's all a lie. She ain't got no evidence, no screenshot. She ain't even try, but she put that last part in there. He may block it so you can't see it. Hoping that my wife will be mad at me and be like, where did that? My wife made a video. She scrolled through all of my likes for the last 2 months, and she ran out of time doing it because it took her 3 minutes to even do that. All my likes. Ain't nowhere in the world this woman didn't see me liking baddies. Anyway, put the other picture up. I'm not telling you to go and do nothing about this. I just want to know if y'all know her. Who know her? Do you know this woman? Do you work here or have you been in this facility where this woman work at? I'm going to tell you, don't go harassing nobody. I'm telling you now. But if you know her from this facility, then if you know her, tell her she better cut this out. If you know her husband, tell her husband, get your wife, bro, because she tripping. Don't you ever get in my DMs lying and trying to do crazy stuff. It's okay to not like B. Tatum. It's okay to hate Israel if that's what you want to do. But you going to try to get in my inbox claiming that you didn't see me liking baddies. 2.3 million people follow me. And you think I'm liking girls on there. Like, everybody can't see me liking these pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, every man with a common sense know It don't mean it don't come across the screen, but who would like it? You know what these people think? This is what my wife told me. Men like the pictures so the girls can DM them, right? Because what's the point of liking women on just to hit the like button? I'm assuming that men want the attention, so they hit like and then they go DM them. Well, my team runs my DMs. I got 2 women that help me on social media. That run 3 now, and they all have access to my DMs. They can go and look at the DMs. I encourage them to go in the DMs and find people, make sure I don't miss any messages. Well, you think I'm DMing baddies? And my assistant, my wife, and other people that work with me, be in my DMs and DM baddies. Now, if this woman saw this and it was true, I'd eat it up. I wouldn't even talk about it. I'd have to tell my wife, baby, I'm sorry. I was liking them freaks on there. Now I can't account for before I got saved. That baby and before I got married. I was looking at them. I wasn't liking them, but I was looking at the baddies. My whole feed was baddies. I had to pray about that one. But you ain't never in your life, this woman knows she ain't never in her life saw me liking no naked, half-naked women on no things since I met my wife. Lied. You lying dog. And the only reason I'm mad about this is because people don't get a chance to get away with this. And it's not what people do, it's why they did it. Why would you go in my wife DM and do that? People just do the craziest, most low-life stuff, and I think she should be exposed on it. And her husband need to get on your wife's IG and tell her, get your butt off that IG because you messing with the wrong people. I told my wife, send a screenshot. Tell her send screenshots then if I'm liking baddies. These people are stupid, man. I'm smarter than that. All right. I had to get that out of my chest. It's been bothering me since I saw this because I just can't believe people do that stuff. This woman knows she ain't seen that. I guess she think I blocked likes from everybody except her. I hit the likes from everybody on my social media except her. Man, I don't even know how to hide likes. That's the stupidest thing ever. When you nasty, let me not say that. Lord, help me. Pray for this woman. I want to call her a B, a H, everything, every cuss word. I hate people that do this stuff. Stay in your lane, gangster, or I want to expose you. All right, we getting up out of here. 75% off, Tatum store. 75% off. I said I was going to end it, but they kept it going, and I forgot to tell them to stop it. Go ahead and do it. Get in there and do it. We almost running out of all our product, so you better do it now and forever hold your peace. All right. I got to do a haircut, so I got to skip the post show. I'm sorry. I love you. We'll make it up to you. I promise. All right. Love y'all. See you on the next one. I'm out.